We have former Governor Pete Wilson here, often credited for stabilizing California's economy in the 1990s. He also banned smoking in all state buildings, so I have him to thank for that. Moving down, former Governor George Mason, only Armenian American governor of California. He's there in his private office, on the window, overlooking Capitol Park there in the background. You guys can move me a little bit closer too if you want. Then we have former Governor Jerry Brown. This is his first portrait from his first time in office. Jerry Brown has served twice as governor of California in separate decades, and this was from his first time in office. Yes, sir?
He's going to get another one.
Yes, he does. Absolutely gets another one. Sure. This portrait is certainly a little bit more different than the rest. It's a little bit more abstract. It certainly doesn't sort of follow the same sort of style as the other ones do, even in comparison to Arnold Schwarzenegger's. The artist who did this portrait was a man named Don Bacardi. Don Bacardi and Governor Brown spent 5 sessions together. This was not the first portrait that they came up with. The artist has even been quoted in a few interviews and newspapers as being sort of frustrated with Governor Brown at the time they were doing this portrait. I guess the former governor had a tough time staying still during their sessions together, and again, this was not the first portrait that they came up with. This portrait in total only took about 3.5 hours to complete. If you look down here, I've actually heard several people on some of my tours say that it looks incomplete or unfinished. When you look kind of in the bottom right corner there. Maybe that's meant to reflect his own attitudes about his governorship, which he felt could have been incomplete, which may have led him to run for office a second time. I don't know. But he does get a second portrait. It will be somewhere up here on the 3rd floor. They're either going to move all of these closer together and put it on the other side of Arnold there, or I was even hearing that they might take down that wood-carved seal there and put the most recent governor portrait there. But nevertheless, he does get a second portrait. So we're all kind of interested to see if it'll look similar to this or maybe a little bit more traditional. The last one that I want to talk about here is Ronald Reagan, the only California governor to serve as president of the United States. And this particular portrait is the only portrait that has this plexiglass covering over it. That's because this portrait was damaged pretty significantly. While he was in office as president, somebody actually entered the building. This was before we had the metal detectors that we have now, and they damaged the portrait by slashing it. If you walk past it and you catch it at the right angle, you can probably see the slash mark that goes from about where his tie meets his jacket, almost all the way down to his hand.
Yep,
there.
I see it.
So again, that's why it has that glass covering over it. So,
oh my gosh.
As we walk this way into the assembly, try and see if you can catch that.
Yep, there it is.
All right.
Yep, there it is.